Good morning, everybody. My name is Peter, and you are tuning in to the sound of the city, coming to you from beautiful San Diego, California, America's finest city. Yes, I know, I'm wearing my Oakland A's shirt. I just happen to love Oakland, and I love the Athletics. They're my second favorite ball club. I love San Francisco. San Francisco and Oakland, they're together tied for my second favorite favorite city in all of the world. My second home, I consider them to be. Anyway, with that considered, I really appreciate that you're here with me today. And if you're here, you might be interested in living within the solution, living to lead a better life after suicide attempts. Right now, right now at least, and this is contingent upon the work that I do on myself personally. Right now, I am no longer suicidal. I no longer live with suicidal ideation. I don't have a plan to kill myself. At one time in my life, actually several times in my life, I chose to try to kill myself. And if you consider those words, that is spectacular and not in a positive way. That is one man saying that he was willing to do something to kill himself. That comes with a lot of gravity. That speaks volumes. Today, I choose to live happy, joyous, and free. It's something I strive for. Today, I have goals. I have dreams. And once again, I'm going to use that word strive. It's the pursuit. I strive to be a gentleman. I strive to be a better person. I strive to become enlightened. Now, those things will come along every so often, but then they'll go away, and then I'll have to work again to get them back. Being a gentleman, for example, there are times when I'm a gentleman, but I'm not a gentleman 100% of the time. I'm not happy 100% of the time. I strive for happiness. I pursue happiness. And that comes with work, working on yourself and adhering to a different life than I had before. I no longer drink. I do not abuse drugs. I'm no longer suicidal. And my life right now is beautiful. I live like a Saudi prince. The emir of Kuwait would be envious of me. And I could go on and on about this. I no longer hate people. I hold no grudges, and I have no enemies. I have some things I need to work on. I'm kind of a loner. I'm an introvert. I do suffer from a condition called agoraphobia. And what that means is you have a fear of going outside of your own home. And this is just an example. I've been working on that lately. And every week I make it a point to have at least an errand or an appointment or some reason to get my butt out of this house and go out into society so I could further live. If I were to sit here in this kitchen every day, every week, that's not going to be growing. That's going to be retracting, regressing. I need to grow. And that's just one example of how I've worked on myself. That's been with the help of my parents. That's been with the help of my psychiatrist. Today, yes, I am on medicine. And I forgot to mention this as part of the safety plan. Part of my safety plan is to remain on my medicine. Never make changes or adjustments to your medicine without the consent or consultation of your physician or psychiatrist. So many times we've heard of people, especially veterans, who had killed themselves, and we later find out that they went off of their medicines. That's very dangerous. These medicines are prescribed for a reason. A ton of research has been undertaken to establish their efficacy, to establish their safety. And your doctor, your psychiatrist knows how they work better than you do. And they will see fit for you to take them correctly. You're not the one that's supposed to play doctor. You're not supposed to medicate yourself by taking more of the medicine, and you're not supposed to under-medicate yourself by taking less of the medicine. If there is a problem, call your doctor, call your psychiatrist. Another thing to consider is in your home, your safety, your medicine cabinet. You may have accumulated a whole bunch of medicine that you do not need. One of the ways people commit suicide is they will take medicine in an attempt to kill themselves, whether it be a whole bottle, whether it be a handful of pills. There's many combinations. I don't want to give people ideas, but it's the truth. It's just a fact. If you have medicines in your cabinet you no longer need, get rid of them. Get the help of your family, or get the help of your doctor, psychiatrist to help determine which medicines you need to get rid of. I recommend that you only keep the medicines that you are actively taking, medicines that are part of your regimen. Now, once again, that's easy to say. How do you go into a medicine cabinet and you see 20 bottles and you go, okay, which one do I get rid of? And that's where your physician and your psychiatrist will help you out. They will review and remind you which ones that are necessary and which ones you could get rid of. To me, it's very important. A bottle of pills is just as dangerous as a loaded gun. You may harm yourself irreparably with medicines, so be careful. There's so many other things I'd love to talk to you about. It's just living after attempting suicide. We are here still. We are enjoying life. We are on this green earth that we could otherwise very easily not be here. I know I should present that better, but we just don't realize how close we were to killing ourselves. And death is final. I've heard people say, well, they said I was dead for 8 seconds, or they said I was dead for a minute, and no, you weren't dead. You're still here. Dead is dead. It's final. I've seen it over again and over again in my career. There's a difference between death and living. Don't fool yourself. Don't think that you're going to dabble with suicidal attempts and just do it, to get the feeling of what maybe committing suicide is like. That's a dangerous game to play. That's Russian roulette. That happens, at times with people. They are interested in suicide. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Once again, and at the risk of repeating myself, it's my goal, it's my hope, it's my dream to be happy, joyous, and free. Free, that word, the freedom. But once again, freedom is not free. You have to work for it. It's so beautiful. It's such a good feeling waking up in the morning not wanting to kill myself. It's such a good feeling to know I'm not going to do something stupid today that my family's going to find out about, and then they're going to worry about me even more and more. It's such a good feeling to know that I'm not going to wake up today and hurt somebody else. I'm not going to hurt my family. And that's part of what living is like after suicide, at least if you are in a post-suicide attempt recovery. If you're doing this without recovery, I wish you the best, but you need help. We all need help at all times. Once you think you don't need help, that's when you're in trouble. Pardon me, I don't mean to rant, but this is so important to me. Probably the last thing I want to talk about is forgiveness. Forgiveness. For me, it is so easy to forgive other people for certain things. Maybe somebody did something against me that was disrespectful, or I didn't care for how somebody spoke to me. I could forgive them. I may not forget, but I could forgive them. In the past, I wasn't readily able to do that, but now I can. The problem I have is forgiving myself, hating myself. Yes, I still hate myself over things that I've done in the past. I ruminate about things that go through my mind. I don't know if my mind gets to me or if I get to my mind or if it even matters. But that's a problem I live with. But it'll get better because I'm willing to work on it. I'm not going to be able to forgive myself 100%. I'm not going to be able to love myself 100%. But I'm going in the right direction. The worst thing is to hate yourself, because that's what we did when we tried to commit suicide. Some of us really hated ourselves. I went through a period I couldn't look in the mirror. The only time I ever looked in the mirror was to shave. Doing this video right now, I have to look at myself, and it's not easy, but it's getting better. It used to be I would be in my wheelchair rolling around and I'd see my shadow on the ground. I couldn't look at that. A reflection in the window, I couldn't look at that. I just couldn't handle it because I hated myself so much. But slowly that's getting better. And that's been possible because of the help I've received from my psychiatrist and the mental health care system and the medicines that I'm taking now. I'm at a balance. I feel like I'm at a balance in my life. You'll hear people talk about a pendulum. And if you live your life and your pendulum is like this, it might be unstable. You want your pendulum to be more like this. You don't want to be living out in the ocean where there's swells in the sea going up and down, and that boat is just out of control, or that ship is out of control, rather. You want to be on smooth water. Well, that's enough from me. These were just words of encouragement, just words for further safety. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your care. I wish you nothing but the best. That's why I'm here. I want you to live. My arms are always open to you. My hands will grab for you, and I want to get you off that ground. I'll use all my strength. Take my hand, and you and I could go through the universe together. And once again, you and I will have a rendezvous with destiny. And it's living a good, happy life. Don't take it for granted. Strive for it. you could get it. I love you. If you're having trouble, call that number, 1-800-273-8255, the Suicide Prevention Hotline or Lifeline. If you are within a psychiatric emergency and you're experiencing a complete disaster right now, call 911. Please. Please. Thank you so very much.